little part shopping for the MR2. Filled the car. AC lines. All right, got all the parts home. Heck of a drive. Ended up taking a bit too long to get everything, so I got home really late. Slept in the car actually because I was getting too tired. But we have all of the AC lines that I believe I need. Dryer, which I'll replace, but the mounting brackets, which is important. Condenser, that should be good. A black trunk, which I'll probably not use that, but that I will take off this spoiler and put it on our trunk lid after polishing it up. Oh, just did a quick little spray wax on this, and it shines up. It's not bad. Of course, I've messed with it. Definitely needs a cut and buff. What else do I have? So we got the rest of the wraparound spoiler, body molding, A-pillar. This stuff is missing. There's like metal piece that gets bolted in through here, and then this attaches to the metal. So have that. I did realize I'm missing a couple of things. So there's a window piece here that I don't have, so I'll get that from him also. And then one like plastic piece here. There's apparently drain tubes that go into the T-top, and then it goes into here, and then it can drain out this vent. So, and all right, I started cutting off some stock mounting stuff. There's stock bracket here for the trans, which will be in the way. So I tried doing it the right way, and spot weld cutter wasn't happening. So I'll go back after it later. But so I just trimmed the ears off and grind it down a little bit, flatten the top, and then mocking up the engine bracket. I'll make the final fit of those two ears. They may move this way or that way once I get the engine in. So that's good to go. I need to make a plate down here and then a plate right here. Gonna oversize both of these so that I can determine where the best place is for the mounting ears. So trying to do this stuff now while the motor's out, then I can do the final tacking of where the ears go once I get the motor in. So a little progress. Yeah, I'll check in a bit. We're gonna keep rocking on it. So my son does detailing for a shop, so we're gonna see if we can borrow some of their equipment and pay for consumables, and maybe do the polish here in my garage, and we'll video that. And I'll get a video of my son working on my car instead of me working on his car. So that'll be nice because he knows what he's doing and I don't. Working on another mount. So made a template and made this plate, drilled it. Didn't have anything big enough, so I had to weld a couple together here. It's fully welded underneath. And then I just need to make a standoff here for this one. And then these two are flat. So there we go. And then from here, some sort of tube over to the stock mount. Now again, stock Toyota's flip, so this would have been the stock motor mount, which will now be trans mount. Also made a plate for down there. Made it extra long because I don't exactly know where it's going to line up yet. And then need to make a plate here yet. Ignore that experiment. Won't be white. So I'm gonna make this extra long here as well. And then I can always trim off what I don't need. But figure I'd make it all these plates first, then get the motor in and start welding, cutting and welding tubes to get it all mounted. And done. Just a piece of tube standoff there so that can be bolted down all the way. On to the next one. Watching a little Nicky Bobby. They're getting ready for Mega Cash Days. And motivation for me while I work on my car. So I have the last plate made. So we have this side, stock, and then this one, and then the plate made there. And then now I need to take a spare motor, bare block and head, mount to this, get this up in the air, roll it under, take that, lift it up, and then try to position it. I was looking at some pictures of a guy on Facebook that did one of these already, and it gets tight over here. So I was hoping to use the stock overflow, but the AC compressor may end up getting in the way here. I already beat that with one of my favorite tools, 5-pound sledge. Try to move the motor over this way, but we'll see. May have some things figured out. Have to notch this out to give myself enough room for serviceability. It is at least kinda in the engine bay. So I just jacked it up from the rear here and slid it under. It's on casters. I'm gonna put the head on it now and then pick the whole thing up and well, hopefully this reaches over with my extendo arm and pick this thing up. Looks like a little room here. A little bit of room there. It may not look like much, but I'm excited. Woo! It fits-ish. So, a lot of room back here. So the exhaust will come down. It's supposed to loop over and then through. So, plenty of room for that. However, so this is axle in line here. Needs to be a little forward just because of the caster on the back, but doesn't leave much room for turbo because head bolts on top. Hopefully fits. And then also doesn't leave much room for accessories over here. So I'm pretty sure, and I need to look, Micah's car's not home, but I'm pretty sure the accessory belt goes right underneath here. So what I'm gonna do is I have this pretty stable. I'm gonna bolt the AC compressor bracket and AC to here and see how this works out. Make sure it doesn't hit the frame. If it fits, we're good. There is just barely enough room here from the hammering. Might just need to bash it in a little bit more and move that brake line a hair. But it does fit. Well, technically rested against the brake line now, but that's fine. I can move that. This mount will be pretty easy. Just go from here to here. That mount will be pretty easy. And same for that, pretty easy. So undecided if I do this one back here, probably will. Yeah, so right now the concerns are accessory belt and turbo fitment. So I'll probably start mocking up these mounts. Zoom out, it looks small, that's not how it looks. Oh, and then these heater core lines are going to be in the way. So I'm gonna have to go underneath the car, cut those underneath, and then reroute the hoses. They need to go to the back, loop around anyway. So I'll take them underneath the car over the trans and back. Hopefully this fuel filler neck is fine for the turbo, because that's gonna be tough to move unless I put a fuel cell up front, which I don't really want to do. So, but that's where we're at. I mean, if I have to, and that's in the way, it's not that big of a deal to throw a fuel cell up front. The stock fuel tank is only 15 gallons, runs underneath the tunnel. So it's not the end of the world if I drop that and put a 10 to 15 gallon fuel cell up front. So, all right, work week's finally over. It's the next weekend, probably same video. So ordered some stuff last weekend. Not sure if I talked about it or not. I'll find out in the edit. Decided here on the car, doing some measuring when the head gets on this fill pipe here for the stock fuel tank is likely going to be in the way of the turbo. I mean, basically interference fit. So the plan is to actually drop the fuel tank, get rid of this, then I can cut these further in the engine or in the tunnel and route with flexible line wherever I need to, either underneath or over that way, because right now they're above the stock fuel tank. And then all of this is vacuum canister and stuff like that. I'm gonna run a vacuum pump and my own vacuum canister up front. All of this goes away, opens up a couple more inches of space here for turbo stuff, and then put a fuel cell in the back, which got an eBay special, and we'll put that here. And since this is mounted fairly high, and the outlet will be, actually this way for acceleration, we'll be able to run a mechanical fuel pump off of the cam. So I ordered last weekend a Magnus Motorsports cam driven fuel pump and their bracket, and it'll mount off of the exhaust gear and mount like right here. Their pump has inlet and outlet on the same size as side as an option, so you don't have to do like a 180 degree fitting. So both will be inlet and outlet on this side, and then route it into here. So 10 gallon fuel cell in the back, not bad. Stock is only 15, so the weight back here will be good for any kind of hard tire no prep racing that I may do, having weight in the back. And then I just lose my trunk space, unfortunately. So that is current plan. Saves a bunch of electrical load on the electric fuel pump, and then makes this a lot easier. So little towards the race car ends, but I drove the 3000 GT like that for a long time. So all good. Other stuff came in. This front radiator is kind of banged up a little bit. Instead of hoping it doesn't leak, I decided to get an Amazon special, $200 for radiator with fans. So we'll see if these fans are any good. They usually aren't. They use the same motor in all sizes. Might be good enough, so we'll see. They're a lot thinner than the stock fans, so, and then this is obviously not beat up. So people have had good luck with the Mishimoto brand, which, like most things in China, all made at the same place. I needed some connectors, so I got a bunch of WeatherPack connector kit. That's the fuel cell, rollover valve, and then I got a Motion Raceworks flex fuel kit. So their kit on the return, even when you use these as a return, it's 3/8 inch fitting, but the sensor has some restriction too. So with a big mechanical fuel pump, you'll want 8 to -8 to -10. So 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch return, and flowing through here is could be a restriction. So got one of their fancy deals, and it can route through here and around, and it flows According to their maths and whatever, flows like a -10, which is what it came with. So that'll be in the return. And then I already have a nice Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, which is set up for high flow. So we're good to go there. And then I do have this to sell, the Aeromotive 7.0 GPM electric pump. Only problem is I caught the mounting getting off the trailer or whatever one time. But yeah, this thing works really well. So I have that to sell to help offset and pay for the mechanical pump. This would do the job, no problem. And I thought about it, but it does put quite the electrical load on a small alternator. So yeah, that's where we're at. So the plan this weekend, unfortunately, drop this back down. I already mentioned this before, but cut this out, plate it, so I have more room to move this over, and then drop the fuel tank, clean up all this, and then basically start putting it back in again and make mounts. So we'll see how far I get. Bit worn out from work week, but I want to get some of this accomplished. And then this, I think the plan here, get all this crap out, get this out, so I can make mounts for the aluminum cell. I'll probably have a air to water intercooler stuff from, free. I had it on the shelf from previous projects, and then probably just paint all this black. And it's not going to be for luggage anymore, so I don't need the carpet. And it'll make it easier to fab mounts. So that's the plan.
Got a fuel cell in, so and a little rattle can job of undercoating just to see how it's gonna look. Not too shabby, but I had to cut the tabs off the back here and was able to get this in.
I'm gonna take a 90 over to here, 90 to this, then through here to the cam-driven mechanical fuel pump. And then on the return, what's pretty neat is this will actually thread on. So have the return come straight back into here and on here. Now, do you have the flex fuel sensor to go in between? So I'll have to figure all that out later. But yeah, just playing around and seeing what I could get to fit. So I'll have to space that up a little bit, bolt it on there and there, and be good to go. All right, not the best welds in the world, but I have, there we go, that piece welded in, and this piece above to box and weld that in. Just have each side to cut and weld those in, and this is boxed in. So should be pretty sturdy, and then of course all this metal is still here and everything too. This, what I'm using, is actually a little thicker. I'd have to measure, but it's at least 50% thicker than the stock steel. So little fun to weld, because this takes more heat, and then I got to be careful because otherwise I burn that, which is what happened there. So, but getting there, using cardboard aided design, of course. So check in on that. And done. Boxed in, good to go. Just need some paint.